I sang, never know how much I love you, never know how much I care. When you touch, you give me fever. You give me fever, but so hard to bear. You give me fever. I would say that we were poor. I definitely would say that we were not rich, okay? And so I used to wear whatever sari was available in the house, and it was fine. I could be somebody's grandmother, somebody's servant, somebody's caretaker, somebody's shoe polisher, somebody's ironer, somebody's bootlegger who knows all the secrets about everything. Yeah, that would be great fun. I've been singing now for 55 years. And so that would be, I'm looking forward to doing it for the youth. Retro is where it's at, but you've got to put it out on a plate and dress it up in such a way that the new generation would just lap it up.
First question I want to ask you about the NH7 Weekender. What
Okay.
is the big plan this year for you?
Okay. Before anything else, let me say namaskar, namaskaram, sat sri akal, salam alaikum to each and every one of you, to you, Komal, and to all your followers, newly, and your readers. I'd like to say NH7 now is the topic in my heart and right on top. And I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to be able to live up to this whole thing because the energy is something fantastic even before the show has started, and we're putting all the songs together and making a good mixed bag for everybody because people expect I know what the people want from me, really I do. And I think the most important thing for any singer or any artist or any performing artist is to know what the audience really wants, or to feel or to experience what the audience wants. NH7 is going to be a different thing for me altogether because I mean, I've done plenty of other music festivals like the Storm Festival and many others. I think, I mean, it's very important for me because I probably would be the senior most artist on the entire lineup. And that's what I'm looking forward to, being who I am and still being over there and being able to sing for I mean, generations and generations. I've been singing now for 55 years. And so that will be, I'm looking forward to doing it for the youth. But I know 100%, I know 100% that, and I feel 100% that retro is where it's at, but you've got to put it out on a plate and, dress it up in such a way that the new generation would just lap it up.
Yeah, obviously. Ma'am, you do so many live events at your age. What are the five top things that you make sure that you do when you're preparing for something as huge as, say, NH7 Weekender?
Actually, when you say at this age, I would rather say at this stage in my life.
Yeah, very nice. Beautiful.
At
Yeah.
this stage in my life, I think what is very, very important is damage control. I have to be very, very careful that I'm much better than I was yesterday, if not much, much, much more, more
Hmm.
connected with the audience. I think the five top things I think about before I go on stage is, God, please give me the energy to one more time convince the audience that it's not about barriers, it's not about boundaries, it's not about, it definitely is not about, how old a song is or not, because I've always said that the song is much bigger than the singer. So even if I sang a song like "Do se pyar kiya, NH7 say baat pyar kiya," I mean, it's got to really touch the audience, yeah. So the first thing I'm thinking about is, God, please let me reinvent my old songs and the kind of things that people really and the generations really enjoy. And please, God, let me get that high, that natural high, which you give me every time I get onto the stage. And when I get onto the stage, it's only the audience that I'm thinking of. who have made me who I am and without whom I would be zero. Second, I think of my music list, what I'm going to be what I'm going to be singing. So it's my musicians and Samaresh, who we put the songs together, and I'm always asking the questions of the organizers: what kind of audience are we expecting? So supposing NH7 has got an audience from all over India, then I would try
Yeah.
to probably sing something in at least a few South Indian languages, and
Yeah.
and definitely in Marathi. And so yes, I'm just looking forward to that. And of course, if there are Bengalis, then so I will put it all together, but the song list is paramount to me. The first is the audience, the second is the song list that I'm going to sing. The third thing, and one of the most important things, is I hope and pray that I know what I should not do. What you should do is something everybody knows. Or, I should, or especially the newer kids around the block, they know how to move, they know how to look, they know how to do makeup, they know how to do so many things. But I am always thinking of what shouldn't I do? What is the one thing or two things or five things that I definitely should not do? One is definitely not say the wrong things. And
Okay.
when I say that, I don't mean just be politically correct, no, which I definitely never want to be controversial, and because I don't believe that politics has any place to do with in music, and
Yeah.
definitely a festival like NH7 Weekender would definitely be important enough to know that there is no politics in this. The only politics that I know, and the only thing that I know, is that we are the only people who need absolutely no election, no nothing. We know we're going to win. And that's the music party. I mean, that
Yeah.
sounds crazy probably, but it's true. Where there is no caste, color, creed, language, gender, sex, age, no barrier at all. And I think
Yeah.
that is what is so beautiful. So what I should not do. Number three, I
Four.
four. I would definitely think before I get onto the stage, I say a prayer. I always say a prayer, and you could even put that number one. You know, but I always say a prayer within my mind. I keep quiet for about half an hour to 45 minutes. I try, unless there are interviewers like you who insist before I get onto the stage. But I try to keep quiet. And I always say a prayer before I get on. And when I'm praying, it's always in my language, in a language like I'm talking to a friend. And I said, okay, God, you've done it for me for 55 years. Do it one more time. That's the fourth. And the fifth thing is to be able to say from deep, deep within gratitude, humility, admiration, and appreciation to the people who have brought me so far.
Lovely. Lovely. These are things that not only you who go on the stage does, but I think everybody, all of us can inculcate these five things because
You should,
I
yeah.
think yeah, it's the core that builds with all these things. Ma'am, I want to now tap on to a little bit of your journey because you've been singing for 55 years. So what inspired you to pursue music and who were your early influencers? What was the age when you really started singing? How did it all start? When
Well,
did the magic
it all
begin?
started quite by accident. I mean, nothing was planned, and we had gone. Uh, I don't know if I told you already that I come from a very middle class South Indian traditional family, and so I insist on saying these things because uh, picnics, having meals together, sitting together and praying, and doing puja together, or whatever it is. Togetherness matters a lot in middle class families, if you've noticed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And so, one of the things that used to be very, very important in our childhood was going for a picnic. I'm sure it is important even now. You'll find so many people so many families that want to go for a picnic and want to spend time away from the home and still be a family and enjoy themselves. So, on one such time when I'd gone to Madras for a vacation, my aunt, who was then the government tour, she was in the tourism department, she took us out for a treat. And we went to a place called Nine Gems. And there was a little band playing over there. And, so people would ask her, how did they know that, how did your aunt know that you would be a good singer or you'd be able to manage? But they always knew I was the life of the party. I was quite a clown, and people used to make me do mimicry. I'm very good at mimicry and things like that. So my aunt just said, why don't you get up and sing? And I said, okay, I'll get up and sing. I'm a great one for taking on, shall I say, challenges or taking on things which people don't expect me to take on. I got up and I sang with this band. And I sang, never know how much I love you. Never know how much I care. When you touch, you give me fever. You give me fever, but so hard to bear. You give me fever. Yeah, so it was fun. People didn't realize that I was standing there in a sari, or I was South Indian, or that I come from. I was very plainly dressed, and people just wondered where the voice was emanating from. Okay, and so that's how it started. People heard me, and then the owner came up. And then in those days, there was no Insta and this and that, and, WhatsApp and Facebook and whatever else you say. There was none of that. And there was no electronic media either. So everything
Yeah.
was by print media, and everything was, shall I say, by word of mouth. So that's why it took such a long time for me to. That's why, in a way, I'm happy, because that's why I think I'm still around, because people were talking about me, and that's how people got to know. So people in Madras started talking about it when I was singing in Hotel Savera, that there is this Madrasi girl or whatever it is who's singing English songs and singing Hindi songs. And then when I came back to Bombay and I sang at the Ritz Hotel, then I got an offer to come to Calcutta, and I sang in Calcutta. And from Calcutta, I got a chance to go to Delhi to Oberoi Intercontinental, where I met the people of Navketan unit, Devanand Saab and everybody. And after the show, they asked me whether I would sing in their project, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. So that's how the film scene happened. But then after that, I was, I've always been a completely live artist. So NH7 Weekender has probably got the senior most live performer in our country, with her, and that's me. So this is how it really started, and I've never looked back after that. I was never in the playback or playback industry or the film industry race. I was always a live performer, and people heard me sing, and so they asked me to sing in their films. It's not as if I had to go to them and we did auditions or anything. It wasn't. I've been lucky. The timing was just right. And people as I've always said, it's not how good or how bad a singer you are, or in anything. It's not how good or how bad, but how original you are. And I was 100% original. I never copied anybody.
Yeah, yeah. You've been saying that you are the senior most singer at the NH7 Weekender, but from what
Probably.
I hear, your music is something that even if you're in a very, very bad mood or you're upset or whatever, when you listen to an Usha Uthup song, your soul rises and you feel so beautiful and so good about things. So, of course, people are looking forward to your stuff.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it also. Believe me, I'm more excited than anybody else. And I'm really, really nervous, because I have to do you all proud and make you feel really happy. It are cool. All right.
Yeah.
Today, I know you would ask about my sari, and what's your next question, or am I preempting?
About the sari.
Yeah, okay. Now, sari is, as I said, I'm not, it's not that I would say that we were poor, but I definitely would say that we were not rich, okay? And so I used to wear whatever sari was available in the house, and it was fine. And soon it became part of me. It was not any marketing or positioning or some strategizing. It was just a question of me, you know? And oh, it was just a question of how much I loved wearing a sari, or shall I say, not even realizing how much I wore a sari, just because that was the only clothes I knew after the school. I went to a convent school in Bombay, convent school, Convent of Jesus and Mary. And straight after the school uniform, I went into a shalwar kameez and probably the sari. So the sari has been a part of me, really. And though, as I keep saying, truthfully and honestly, was no marketing deal, okay? It was just the fact that I had nothing else to wear. And I'm happy. And then came the bangles. Yeah, there. So I got it out for you.
Yeah.
He's going to put it on. Yeah. So the bangles were very, very important. And I think being a South Indian, we always wore bangles in our hand.
Yeah.
You see? And bangles were very cheap in those days. Very cheap. 2 rupees for a dozen, maybe. And now, I mean, what do you get for 2 rupees anyway? Not even a parking ticket. So, which is so huge. So, my bangles became a big thing. And then I've got my flowers out here just to show you. The
Beautiful.
flowers became a huge thing in my life. And everybody, and that also is because being a South Indian family, every Friday, my amma would buy, little flowers, and all the girls in the family wore flowers. I'm probably the only one who stuck with it, and to date, I wear flowers. And so I wear flowers in the hair. And then the bindi, hey, come on, how did that happen? We used to have a small little bottle just outside the little dressing room that we had, not dressing room, just outside the washroom, and with
Mm.
a face, and it was kept on top. And after you washed your face, you just dipped there was a stick in the bottle, you dipped it, and then you put a small dot, and it always remained like that for a long time. Then I realized that I could make it a little bigger, and I made the thing a little bigger. Then came the advent of Sringaar, and so there were many colors. So I did many colors with the bindi. And then came the advent of the amazing stickers. And so now what I do is I put my sticker. I've got a girl in Bombay. Her name is Varsha, and her husband's name is Imran. And they both do my bindis for me. I make a small
So
design.
these are customized bindis, huh?
Yes, all completely. But I buy my own designs from her. She makes beautiful bindis for me, and I wear them. So without my sari and without the flowers in my hair, without bangles, I'm not Usha Uthup for many people. So it's very important that I have that. That's how it became iconic.
Yeah, yeah. But ma'am, with the look that you carry and the look that has become that is how we know you. Has it ever happened that someone ever asked you to not dress up like Usha Uthup for a particular concert or a show? And how did you react to that? Did
Actually,
it
let
ever
me tell
happen
you,
to you?
nobody's ever told me anything like that. Nobody. And, I think, in fact, there are people who even are kind enough to bring flowers to the show thinking I don't have
Yeah.
flowers. And they want me to have that full Usha Uthup look. But let me tell you, when I am doing an act, or shall I say, when I'm doing a show or shooting for a film, or I'm asking for a role, I'm always asking all the producers and directors shamelessly, please give me a role. I'm dying to act because it's a extension of my music, really. So I also make a mention that please, I don't want to be Usha Uthup. I just want to be
Oh,
another person. Yeah, I want to play a
okay.
role. I want to play a different character, and it's worked. It's worked for me. I've done 2 or 3 movies. I've done Sat Khoon Maaf. I've done something with Kamal Hassan. I've done something with, of course, with Amitabh Bachchan. I came as Usha Uthup, but I've also done a film with Mammootty, that is Potan Vava in Malayalam, where I play his mother. And so I've had some wonderful times working as somebody else, and I really, really want to play a really meaty role where I could make a difference in the film.
So we will cut this little, you wanting to still act and
Yes,
put it
please,
up on Instagram, and we'll
please.
have you.
Please, I'm dying to act in a film. Please give me a role, please. And I don't want to be Usha Uthup. I just want to be somebody else. I could be somebody's grandmother, somebody's servant, somebody's caretaker, somebody's shoe polisher, somebody's ironer, somebody's bootlegger who knows all the secrets about everything. Yeah, that would be great fun. Or
Yeah.
some auntie who's running a puri bhaji or a batata vada stall at the end of the road, or in the nukkad, who knows all the secrets of the people, of the inmates of that area, and that would be so much of fun, isn't it, for me to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much for this beautiful chat.